He says in verse 8, he says, herein my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, so shall you be my disciples. Listen to this in verse 9. He says, as the Father has loved me, so have I loved you.
Mm.
Continue in my love. Okay, wait. Okay. So when he was going through that whole vine and branch and withering and all this stuff, he says, as the Father has loved me. So Jesus is loving us exactly as the Father has loved him. And then the way the Father has loved the Son has loved us. And he's saying, continue. It's like it started with the Father, then it went to the Son, and now he's passing the baton to us. He says, continue in my love. And how do we continue in his love? The way we continue in his love is in verse 10. It says, if you keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandment and abided in his love.
Hallelujah.
Are you guys hearing this? So now let's pull up the illustration here. I'm going to read this while he's putting up this illustration here. So we have Yah. Right here it says, I am the vine. Yeshua is saying, I am the vine, and my Father is the husbandman. So we have an illustration here where make that bigger than me. So you got the husbandman sowing seed or tending to the vineyard. That's Yah. That's God. So, because people are new, I want to confuse people. That's the Father. And then we have the vine. Show the vine. See, that's the vine right here. This is a vine with grapes, but this is a vine. And Yeshua is saying, I am the vine. I am the true vine, because you may have other vines coming off. He said, but I am the true vine. And then he says, every branch that's in me, not bearing fruit, he take it away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, and may bring much more, bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the words which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I abide in you. As the branch, listen to this, the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except as it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine. Ye are the branches. Okay, show where we are the branches. Man, you see this? Man, you are the branches. Yeshua is the vine. The Father is the husbandman, and we are the branches. He says, I am the vine. He says, he that abide in me, and I am in him, the same bring forth much fruit. And without me, he can do nothing. All that we can do nothing. If we're not abiding in that vine, we're not going to bear fruit. And so the fruit represents our works. Put that on there. What is that what we have? Fruits. Yep, fruit. So you can't bear fruit. So we need the Father to plant the seed, to grow it, do all the stuff he needs to do. You got the vine, the true vine in Yeshua, HaMashiach. Then you got the branch, which is man. And then you got the fruit, which represents our works. And that's how we know. He says right here, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and you shall be done unto you. Herein my Father is glorified. See, look, when a husbandman takes the time and labor and trying to grow his fruit, this makes him happy to do all this labor to see that his labor did not go in vain. To see the grapes coming off the branches, right? And then and how do we do this? He says, if you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in his love. So now go back to Ephesians chapter 5. I want to show you something here. If we can go there. All right, guys. I hope you guys get. So right here, look what it says. Husband, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Okay, I'm a husband. I'm a man. I have a woman, and I'm being instructed by Paul to the Ephesians, but Paul saying, even as the Messiah loved the assembly, or Christ loved the church, he gave himself for it. Okay, go back to that illustration. So, okay, let me look at this. So we're gonna change something here a little bit. Well, I want to understand what Yeshua said. This is how I be thinking. I said, okay, my husbandman is Yeshua. So let's make a Yeshua where Yah is. Let's put Yeshua in that place. Okay, boom. Okay, if it gets okay, Yeshua is, because that's my head. The head of, matter of fact, before we go here, stop. Let's pause here. Let's go. Do we have the illustration for that? The 1 Corinthians 11.
Yes, Elder. Yep, I can put that up.
Okay, let's put that up. I just want to. Do we have the actual verse, or we have to read it?
Oh no, the verse, and we have the illustration.
Okay, well let's just read 1 Corinthians 11. All right, 1 Corinthians 11:3. Look, he says, "But I will have you know that the head." I want to make sure we see in this that the head of every man is Messiah, Christ, and the head of the woman is man, and the head of Christ is Yah, God. Okay, now go back to the illustration again. So we got Yeshua, because that's my head. So I'm going in relationship to my master. It's not straight to the Father, because no man can come to the Father but through the Messiah, through Yeshua. You can't get to. I can't sidestep Jesus and get straight to the Father. I have to go through the Son, the Messiah, to get to the Father. Are you hearing me? So that's why when I'm drawing this illustration, I'm taking that same illustration that Jesus put himself in. And now I'm saying, okay, now he said, love your woman as Christ loved the church. I say, okay, I'm going to put myself where Jesus was. Jesus was divine, so I know where I got to be. So I'm gonna put myself in the vine. Put myself in the vine. I should have started with that first. So if I'm a vine in the house of Kabir, right? If I'm that vine and my head is Yeshua, so that means that will put him in the husbandry role. So now, off of this vine is going to come off a branch, and that's going to be a woman. Put the woman there. Boom. Oh, so we got Yeshua is the head of man. The man is the head of every woman. She is the branch. And now if she abides in me and I abide in her, just like he loved us, I'm loving my woman the same way. I got commandments for her. I demand things from her. I have commandments for her so that we can be one. How can two walk together unless we agree? So we got to be one. She can't be doing her thing. And we got, there's only one head. There's only one head. When it comes to my house, I'm the head. And I only have one head that I have to answer to, and that's Yeshua. So we stay connected. So if we're one and she abiding, now we're going to produce fruit. What does that look like for a family, a marriage, a relationship? Show me the fruit. Seed, children. That's what that's going to look like. So Yeshua is the husbandman, the man is the vine, and the woman is the branch, and from that produces seed, children. Are you guys following me? I'm getting so excited here. Is that good. Concrete? Okay. Oh, yeah. Somebody saying beauty. Are you guys seeing this stuff? If you guys like what you're seeing, put 7 for heaven. Put 7 for me, guys. If I made this concrete, this is like, wow. This is how I'm thinking. Like, okay, because I want to show you guys something.
That's good.
I'm gonna teach you how to be a man. It's right there. We don't have to listen to Kevin Samuels and they got some good stuff in there, but really, this is where this is where it really generates right here. If you want to be an alpha dog, you don't have to mistreat women and do all this stuff. Just be like, what would Jesus do? That's what Christianity used to say. What would Jesus do? I'm going to show you what Jesus do. I'm going to show you how to be a true husband. How to be a husband. And if he's the husband, then that makes me his bride. So if you are a good bride to your master, guess what? You know how you have what it takes to teach your woman how to be a good bride to you. See, Jesus did what he saw his fathers doing. He was a good bride to the Father. And then he came down here and loved us the same way he was loved by the Father. And so he gave us commandments so that we can glorify the Father. Are you guys following me on that? Deacon, please invite. You know me.
No, you're good. No, this is
I'd be
I'm
doing
listening.
so.
I'm receiving it.
Okay, hallelujah. You guys still work. You can't be like,
I know.
I need you working behind the scenes, Deacon. You can't just.
You got
So
me
anyway,
engaged. You got me engaged.
hallelujah. So now we're gonna go in here, guys, and I'm gonna show you guys how we relinquish our preeminence. Yah always stayed preeminence. Yeshua always maintained his preeminence. He never gave that up. He had an opportunity to give it up when he was tested in the wilderness. Satan came in here and promised him 3 different things. If you do this, if you bow down to me, I will give you all this. If you're hungry, I'll give you, hey, just turn this thing and he says, no, man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that proceeds out of Yah's mouth. But Satan was literally trying to get Yeshua. He didn't take it because he can't take it. He needs your consent. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? He needs your consent. And so he was trying to get Yeshua's consent to give up his preeminence, to acquiesce and capitulate because he was hungry. But he says, no, man does not live on bread alone. He says, my whole life, my true food is to do the will of my Father. That was his food. That was his meat, to do the will of his Father. He was not going to turn that. He said, okay, why don't you just jump here? The angels will come and get you. He said, no, don't be testing. I'm not going to sit here. So all you women that be trying to test your man and say, well, if he really loves me, I'm just going to act like a bitch. So just to see, you shouldn't be testing him. Thou shalt not test Yah, because it may end up hurting you. Mm. So all these people thinking, I know it's in nature for women to be, shit testing men and things of that nature, but you shouldn't be testing your man. That's bad. That's the Satan. Even Satan was trying. So when you have this desire to test if your man is legit or this and that, you are doing exactly what Satan wants you to do. Yeah. You bit the fruit. Mm. This is just coming up right now. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So while women are doing that, men, don't be giving up your preeminence. He even says, I'll give you all of this. I'll give you everything you see. I'll give it to you. Just bow before me and I'll give you all this. And Yah says, you don't worship no one but Yah and Yah alone. He did not give that up. So men, what we did wrong, and this started back in the 70s, but this even go back into the 20s. You had a first wave, and don't quote me, but sometime in the 20s, in 1920 or 30s, you had the first wave of the feminist movement, where women gave women the rights to vote. And then the second wave, women, they start getting more rights, and that's when they stop doing head covering. In this country, in the United States, they start doing, and I remember thinking to myself, how did this all happen? Man, where was I? Maybe I could have stopped it. I wasn't even born when this all happened. This happened in the late 60s, early 70s, when the feminist movements was doing this, but they've been working for a long time. And now we're in 2023. Oh my goodness. They have turned this whole thing all over to the point now it's not even equal. Let's be real. In Christianity, they may say that it's complementarian, but really it's egalitarian. Women is highly worshipped. In this country, women are put on above men.